Ladies and gentlemen, well, welcome to Meet People, this podcast to the Southwest Meat Association. I can't wait to have these conversations, and we're going to do everything we can to make it entertaining and valuable and a great representation of meeting the people.
Meet People podcast listeners. I'm excited. This is fun. This is cool. It's my best friend since kindergarten. His wife, who I've known for almost my whole life, too. They're representing Peterson's. I'm representing SMA. We're hosting an episode of the Meet People podcast. And, well, thanks to Cody, I got to go to some SMAs. Otherwise, I'd have never even went. So this is a cool part of the story. So, and Peterson's is also, kind of supporting this podcast, supporting these conversations. So it's a great kind of, opportunity to say thanks to Peterson's for making the Meet People podcast possible. And let's hear a little bit about the story and these two people and what they think about the SMA. Welcome to the show, brother.
Thank you.
You too, Chrissy.
Thanks.
I want to hijack just a second. I know we want to talk SMA, but one of the principles of SMA and one of the things that have come across over the last 20, we tried to figure it out. 02 was our first SMA.
Mm-hmm.
So however many years that is, 22, 23 years.
Yeah.
SMA's been a family. And our family, our SMA family, are concerned about us.
Oh, yeah? Well, this is a good time to clear that up.
I thought, if we don't have to go into details, and I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable a little bit because, the whole microphone thing is uncomfortable for me.
Yeah, sure.
But anyway, I think that we should tell our SMA family just how we're doing. Because a lot of them want to ask. A lot of them will ask and say...
you don't have to tell me if you don't want to.
Yeah.
Or
a lot of them will just... Their lead question will be, how are you and Neil? Mm-hmm. And...
well, that makes me emotional, that people care. You affected somebody enough in their life that they care. Yep. Which, I don't know how to say it other than, stop worrying about it. Me and Cody are good. We've been through some hard stuff. We've had some tough conversations, but that's really not the first time,
Yeah.
We had tough conversations in football practice, punching each other hey, man, get off of me, or, even basketball practices. We've been through so much stuff together. The most recent events of our careers is just another one of those things. Yep. So.
Well, I think I just wanted to share it. I want this SMA family and other listeners. There might be more. There's more than just the SMA that listen, probably. I just want them to know that yes, and I'm going to speak for you some. We ran through every emotion. We ran through the, I'm mad, I'm sad, I'm, all the different gamut of emotions. In the transition, but I think it's, I think I told you, the first Monday morning that I might have sent you a text early that morning that I was struggling, and in your normal fashion, you cheered me up. So, and then I had one other time that I was plowing with the radio, by the way. Dad got a new tractor last year. It's got a radio that works.
There you go. Wasn't just silence.
Waylon Jennings' song came on. Someday I'll get over you. I'll live to see it all through. But I'll always miss dreaming my dreams with you.
Yeah. It is, but they're still our dreams.
I know.
I know.
But so we're not on the same career path dreams, maybe, but we're still on the same life dreams together. And I think that's kind of the message that I won't share.
Well, and like, there's really nothing more valuable to me than a conversation like this, because there's other people. They may be in family businesses. They may be with their best friend working. They may be with their spouse. That there's just so many times similar stuff happens, and we've been through it. I don't mind sharing it. It's a hit to confidence. Like, I'm trying to rebuild my confidence in a lot of ways. Why? I'm like, it's kind of frustrating to think, why do I have to? Like, why would my confidence be affected so much? Well, it just is. And it's another truth. Yep. Confidence goes up and down. It's not just this always steady you're not always just totally believe that you're the best. Yep. Sometimes you think, holy crap, I suck.
Well, and it's and I'll share this. You and I have had the conversations. Pride's a dangerous thing, and I think that's one of the ways that the Lord kind of puts us in check every now and then, or keeps us in check. It just gives us a little reminder. Hey, He's the one we trust. Can't really trust all this other things that happens in this world, but we can trust Him. Yeah. So, anyway, build my faith, and it's. Throughout the struggles, it's still going to be fine.
Yeah.
And SMA family, we're fine.
I hope you're listening. Like somebody besides Rhonda, which I think actually.
I need Rhonda to hear it too.
Yeah, that's
because
right.
I wouldn't.
I'm pretty sure Mom doesn't even know about this. Like, I do so many different things. Like, they can't keep up with all of it, and they try to listen to all of it, but they don't get it done. This is about as good a representation as what the SMA is really about as I could think. The family. Like, we're sitting here talking to our family who's probably listening, which is other people in the meat business, other people we've grown up with. Like, in fact, all three of us have grown up with the SMA. Not like since babies, like maybe Tyler Cusack or somebody, but in our careers, in our lives, raising our families, all these things we've done. Now, if you're a person that's not involved in the SMA and you got no clue who any of us are, thanks for listening. You're hearing some like truth about our lives, and it corresponds to the relationships, the friendships we have in an organization, the Southwest Meat Association. And I think I would encourage you, if you're in the meat business, really in a business that services the meat industry, you should get involved, because you then get access to this cool family.
It's an association that takes care of each other. So I didn't even know that Mike Dankworth was SMA, but my very first SMA person that I met was Mike Dankworth.
Yeah.
And it's because when I started at Peterson's had burnt down, and Mike Dankworth was making our bacon, maybe more than that. I know he was making our bacon for us. And so that was my very first thing. So I went to Ballinger, Texas, and, actually I might have been driving the truck. I don't know. But anyway, but I learned about bacon slicing from Mike Dankworth. And here he was, as he's got his own business rolling, and Peterson's had burnt, and he said, you know what, they need help, and he just started making product for us. So that was my first SMA encounter before I even knew what SMA was.
Yeah. I think Dankworth is still donating stuff to the auction. And doesn't he donate something all the time? Anyways, anybody listening that's been involved in the SMA is going to know who Mike Dankworth is.
I got a funny story on Mike Dankworth, too. So Mike and I became somewhat close over the years. Of course, recently he didn't attend the events very often. And I haven't talked to him in a while. But do you remember the first SMA that you went to?
No, like not
Chrissy
explicitly.
Chrissy does. You were waiting for you didn't have any clean clothes. You were waiting to get all your clothes from the cleaners. And the cleaners never showed up with his clothes.
I didn't go pick them up before it was time to go.
No, we went
to pick them up. Did I borrow your pants?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you had what you had on. and maybe some socks or underwear or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that was it. And so she threw in an extra
We shared a
pair.
room. All three of us
We had to
shared.
share a room because we couldn't afford 2 rooms.
Yeah.
And then you went and played golf, dressed basically like you're dressed now, boots, hat,
Yeah.
everything.
Mm-hmm.
And you won the golf tournament and you hit the longest drive. And that evening, Mike said, "Who is this guy you brought in here?"
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, some of those pieces of the story are really fun to remember, and you don't, that's kind of one reason to do the podcast. You don't remember them unless you kind of sit around and talk about it for a little bit. Like Inglet, like I got vivid memories of him singing in the bar, late at night, or Barney. Barney seemed to always be there too. So now we've kind of got some of that stuff discussed and custom discussed. What if somebody doesn't know who you are, you and Chrissy, or Peterson's? How are we going to tell them a little bit about that?
Well, who we are and what we do is kind of different, and I hope it's different for most folks.
How did you ever even start working at Peterson's? Like, where did Peterson's come from?
Oh, that's an eady story, and we'll do the fast version because I think you've done this to us, the long version before.
Yeah, so if you want the long version, we'll reference them in the notes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And basically what that long version is going to say, it's a fun little story about how we got married and I still had a year left at A&M. So we moved to Bryan, Texas, and I finished school, and you still had a few years to go. So we moved back home so she could finish at Tarleton. And I was day working, and I was happy as I can be. And then she got pregnant and decided that a day worker wasn't my career of choice.
Yeah.
Chrissy did a resume for me, sent it in, and got me an interview without me even knowing about it at Peterson's. And then told me when my first interview was. So.
And you went.
I went. I got hired.
I mean, that's pretty cool. Like, I think there's just very few people that are going to have a story like that. But so it's fun to think that's how you got started with Peterson's. Do you remember why or how you ever why would you go to SMA? Like, you met Mike after the burn down. Did he tell you to do it?
Yep. He was one of them. And so the Petersons, the people that were there were already a part of the SMA, so they were, but they said, okay, Cody, you get to go this year or this next year, which was New Mexico was that first one. And, I was, I got hired as the marketing manager, and they said, oh, you're going to be the quality manager instead. And so I was, but in general, and this is the same story that you lived when you came to Peterson's. You got hired as a quality manager, but you end up buying and running the plant and doing all the other jobs too. So that was the progression of both Neil and I's lives at Peterson's.
Which was a really good one. I look back on that, and that was lucky.
More rounded, yes. Yeah. I agree.
It gave me the ability to do the jobs I had coming later in my career better.
Yep. I agree. So there was a good advantage. One way you can look at it was it was a rough start. The other way you could look at it, great advantage.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I go to the SMA this first time, and I'm a sponge. I'm just trying to learn everything I can, whatever. And I remember the president of Peterson's at the time, his name was Don Montgomery. He was sitting beside me, and I don't remember what the talk was, but it was something, and I started writing down a question or two, and something that I didn't know if I was really going to ask the question or not. But I wrote down a question or two, and then it came the Q&A session. All the speakers speak, and then they have a question session. Well, Don just reached over there and grabbed my little notepad, and he started asking my questions.
Yeah.
And which was fine. It was like, and then I got the answers I wanted. Whoever the speaker was, whatever it was, I got the information that I wanted to know. And then there was a break after that. Sitting right beside me was David Ruff. And got up and walked out, and I reached over and I met, hi, I'm David. We met. And he said, son, if you got a question, you raise your hand and ask. That's what this place is for.
Right.
These people are here to help you. And if you've got the question, you ask it.
Yeah.
And if you think back over the years, David Ruff was always, if he had a question, he was going to ask it.
Yeah.
And so that was a good first lesson from SMA, and a good lesson about what the association is.
Yeah.
It's there to help you. And so that was one of my very first encounters, very first session I ever went to.
As a longtime SMA partner, VersaCore Managed Pest Solutions provides commercial-only pest control servicing Texas and surrounding states. VersaCore's customized Audit Pro programs are GFSI compliant and meet the standards of every third-party auditing agency. Our team approach ensures your program is audit-ready at all times. Visit us at versacore.com for more information and to schedule your complimentary risk assessment.
Chrissy, what do you remember about the SMA? Like, you work at Peterson's, you've worked at Peterson's for like forever. Like, how'd you even get started working at Peterson's? Like, I know, but why don't you tell us how you remember it?
Well, I think it was summer. I was a teacher. I just finished my first year teaching, and it was summertime, and y'all needed someone in the office. I guess I don't know. Anyway, somehow it happened. There was no one left, no office personnel left, and y'all said, y'all just come for the summer between school years. I was like, okay, and then that was
all that years ago.
22, 23 years ago, yeah.
So how did that work? Did you have to cancel your teaching contract or tell them you wanted out of it? Do you remember? Like, were you even under contract?
No. I was like job. I'd left Comanche. I did my student teaching Comanche and then filled in as a substitute the second semester.
For a teacher that was out. And on maternity leave, I think. And I just filled in that semester. And I was hoping to get a job at Gustine. That's where we were living at the time. And then
work at Peterson's. Your story, well, really our story, parallels what I know a lot of people listening who have businesses lived. Like Chrissy raised kids on her desk at Peterson's. I mean, Cody too. I mean, that was the truth of it. Like, I can remember Ace sitting in the little vibrator bouncy chair while she's sitting there doing work. So anybody that relates to that is going to get a smile, a charge, some kind of, oh, yeah, man, that's right. I raised my kids that same way because they didn't have no option. Like riding on a tractor with your dad when you was a kid. You don't. That's not the most fun thing in the world to do, but there's no other place for you to go, so you go ride the tractor.
Yeah, we had a little office that we left. We had the playpen in, a little walker, and if I was on the phone, I'd just put them in there and shut the door, basically.
Yeah, that's great.
And SMA with our kids, too. So our kids, those early years when we were, super financially struggling, SMA was our trip. That was our family trip.
I've talked to a lot of the kind of people that started SMA or even kind of reimagine it over the years. That was a piece of it. Like, we don't get to take vacations. We're all business owners. We're all people. Like, we don't get vacations. So let's make this convention a vacation too. It's a thing to go learn, to go network, but also bring your family, have a good time. And I think they do that pretty well.
Yep. I do. I agree. So the SMA, and you can pick. I think with the SMA, You can pick. You can say, okay, I want this to be, a family thing for everybody and still go do my business. Or if you say, okay, I just want to do my business, and then, I'll do the family thing with some other trip or something like that. I think that the structure of the organization, the mentality of the organization allows for people to pick. They can do both, or they can pick one or the other. I mean, they can, just pick the professional side if that's what they want to do.
Sure. Like you're going to come there if you want to sell something. Like I was talking to Amy Springer. There's a chance to create business through this thing too. I mean, so you're totally right about that. I was thinking, almost everybody I've talked to, like a lot of them are Aggies. You're an Aggie. Did you ever judge meat?
I never did.
So
Our
here's
daughter,
one of
they
the rare
did, yeah.
occurrences of somebody from A&M that's in the SMA, that's in the meat business, that didn't ever judge meat.
And then our daughter, Faith, our oldest daughter, she did. She was pretty good at it. She didn't have aspirations to be on the meat judging team, and when she went to A&M, but
Now, she went to A&M, right?
she went to first year till COVID hit.
Yeah.
Then,
Oh, man.
and then the next year was going to be all online. So
That's the thing I
transferred.
have to kind of remember. It's like there's that COVID thing in people's story. Like their college career got way different thanks to COVID. Their high school, their elementary, our business lives. It was different, way different.
Yeah.
What about this? Like you've been part of the leadership and sat on committees and this kind of thing. Why would you do that?
The SMA board?
Yeah.
Well, really because I was told to is why I did it.
Right.
And I think that's I don't want that to come across as wrong, but when Jim Undersack and Joe Harris and somebody else says, "Hey, Cody, you're going to do this," you're just kind of going to go do it. Yeah. And it's one of those things that you're glad you did it. I mean, it's your opportunity to serve a little back and I mean to give some back but I haven't been on the board in a while, and it's not because I don't want to or anything like that. It's just there are tons of capable people that are really good at helping Joe and Lacey put this deal on. Yeah. So as far as the convention and everything else like that goes. So yeah, I mean it's I think anybody that's ever asked will probably say yes. Right. Because in some form or fashion they think, all right, I owe the SMA.
Yeah, that's right. I've been here taking. Yes. It's my turn to give.
Yeah, and if I can do a little something to make sure somebody else gets something out of it, well, then that's what I'll do. And so I think that's probably the mentality of most of the folks you're visiting with.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's just I feel super lucky and blessed to get to kind of play this host role. I mean, I'm talking to Wade Hudson. Yep. I didn't know his dad. Yeah. I didn't know his name was Daryl with a D at the end. I thought it was 2 L's. It was like cool, so cool to hear his story and how Daryl would do like build buildings, or would use a panel supplier or something. I think Bob Undersack did this. Like, okay, cool, I'll do business with you, but you got to go join the SMA. Yep. Like that's how a lot of those original companies built it. Like they won't even do business with you unless you're part of this association. That says something, too, about how valuable it is to them and to really the whole industry. Yep. I love it because, I mean, it's still growing. It will grow. It's going to get bigger. Everything needs to. I really enjoyed the building of it, like it being this pretty small thing. And then now it's like the biggest one ever last year. They're going to be even bigger. This podcast, I hope, grows the thing. Peterson's, I loved. Like, I just got this memory on my, I don't know where it was, Facebook, LinkedIn, somewhere. It was like 12 years ago, us in the old toter home I had. We took a trip to Austin or something. It's like Mary Catherine, Todd Riley, Jim, Wes Henry drove. Like, it was, and we're taking this funny picture. It's like We were building the thing 12
Mm-hmm.
years ago. It was fun.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff is fun to me. I think it is fun to anybody that comes and gets involved with SMA in any
Well,
capacity.
and something else I'd like to say about that. So there's there is this family network and this tight knit group, and within the SMA there are these rings of people that they all overlap to a certain degree, but there's like a new person that showed up to the SMA would be like, golly, these guys are, how am I going? I don't know if I'm going to work my way into this situation,
Yeah.
but they would. So that's the message I want to say, that we're a lot of us don't see each other but once a year, and we're people think, golly, they must talk every day on the phone or something, but really truly that's it doesn't need to be a barrier to anybody. That's, I guess, what I want to say. And it's the other thing about the SMA, they're doing a very good job of evolving it as more and more services. So, Joe and Lacey, they're trying. So I don't know what the last thing they did, but maybe the nutritional labeling or something.
Yeah.
So they're aware that, all right, it's not just a network that helps each other, which is very good. That's the primary thing. But it's also, all right, we can do these services for people. We can advocate for them, and in Washington, one of the early things, you remember back when I don't know how many years ago, when the whole natural labeling thing came up.
I'm shaking my head for anybody that's not able to see.
But,
So
the whole natural labeling thing came up, and there was all this debate whether it should be this, should it include the meat, should it just be the ingredients, should it be the process, or what should it be? And so there was these hearings, and I was I was definitely a kid that didn't know what I was doing, but I thought, golly, I need to go to DC and at least listen in on what's this hearing that's going to shape this. And nervous as I could be, and then I looked around, and then there was Joe Harris, and he comes up to me, and and I had been talking to the Applegate, I've been talking to the Coleman and the Applegate guys, and we'd kind of talked about, hey, this is kind of, we were kind of aligned a little bit, and then Joe's looking over there, and he goes, hey, are you going to speak? And I said, no, I didn't get on the list.
Yeah.
And Joe says, I'm on the list.
What do you want?
What do you want?
Yeah.
And I can't say that we got exactly what we wanted, but you know what? I had somebody there that knew what was going on enough to get on the list, and at least our opinions were heard.
Yeah.
So, and then after that, I think I went back on one of his DC trips with him several years later. But the services they provide are in addition to the network of connections, and so. If we're talking about SMA, that's really what it's about.
Yeah. To me, it's like, I don't even know what it costs. I have no clue what it costs to be a member of SMA or anything.
It's based on your sales.
Yeah, maybe it's sales, maybe it's
No, it's
employees.
based on your sales, I think.
Either way, it
Yeah.
doesn't. My point is, it doesn't really matter. Like, it's cheap to have an industry expert, all of this. It's like just Joe himself. Being able to call that guy is worth a lot.
Yeah.
He may not know every answer. I think Joe would tell you. I don't know every answer, but I know somebody that will probably know or be willing to help or get you out of a pinch, whatever it is. So
For sure.
it sounds like a commercial a little bit, which it's not. I'm not intending it to be. The podcast is not a commercial for SMA, but it is like we are trying to spread the word. It's like we say this all the time. Like, if I just ate at a good restaurant, I want to tell you about it because you're my friend and I want you to go have a good meal. That's what we're doing with the SMA. This podcast, this conversation is we've unequivocally, I'm trying to use a big word here so I sound smart.
Good job.
I'm not sure if that's even right. But every time it turns out to be valuable to have been a part of the SMA, and to go get involved. It is scary. It is intimidating. Like, I know you my whole life, and I I just never think you're nervous. But you are. Like, I'm nervous. Like, I'm in circles and people say, oh, Neil, he don't care. He just shows up, starts hollering, Suey, we got bacon, whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm nervous because it is it's a nerve-wracking thing to meet new people.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, and it's not nervous to me to meet new people or to get in those groups. I do fine with those settings like that. It's nervous to me, and I guess it's dumb because I've had a lot of training and on speaking, and
Yeah.
I preach occasionally, and anyway, I can do it. I just am not ever comfortable doing it.
Yeah.
And so I think I understand. Chrissy might be the opposite. She might say, I have trouble getting into a crowd of strangers. Would you say that?
No.
Anyway, there are some people that might. And so I get it.
My example is, like, there are more than this one, but it's the one that comes to my mind. Like, I'm this kid, lost, scared, just trying to pretend like I got it all together, and I show up at this SMA thing with my friend, and I'm comfortable with you, so I at least got one friend there. I'll just never forget, Dickie Mayer just was like, man, he just treated me like I was somebody, and cool, great to see you. What's your name? Where'd you come from? Why are you here? It's like that one instance just paints a great picture of how it went for me. I think go that way for anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So, matter of fact, and you're talking about Dankworth. Like, if you talk to people long enough, they will mention some person in the organization that treated them that way, just welcomed them in, said, thanks for being here. How can I help you?
Yep.
David Ruff, saying, hey. I always thought that was kind of interesting too. Like, when Don just picked up your questions and started asking them, what did you think? Like, that son of a buck? Or did you have no, like, I kind of would have been like, wait a second, I'm going to ask those. Or, yay, ask him. I don't want to have to, and he doesn't care.
I mean, I can't say that I really thought about it much.
Yeah.
Until David said, hey, if you got a question, you ask your question.
That's right.
And I have ever since.
Yeah.
I have.
That's good life. That's good a life lesson right there too. It's like, I find myself even today at dang near 50 years old thinking my question's stupid. I don't want to look dumb in front of the people. I'll just wait. Maybe somebody else will ask it. No, just ask it.
Yeah.
What's the worst thing that could happen? Somebody laughs at you, or you did ask it. I really don't think there's a stupid question. I mean, I will ask stupid questions. I've made you uncomfortable how many times in the years we've worked together. My favorite example is probably at Triumph in the boardroom. We're going through the plant, and I'm asking them to strap a GoPro on one of the pigs to go into the CO2.
Stun.
Yeah, stunning. I mean, I'm sure everybody there was just like, oh my gosh, this guy. How did he even get in this room? But that's kind of how it went, how it goes. I don't know what else to cover. That's a lot of it. That's kind of the stuff that I wanted to talk about. I'm glad you brought up I don't know that people are really that worried about us. You might know more than I do. So I'm glad we talked that, at least let everybody know, hey, we're good. I would encourage everybody to really understand life's more about your relationships, your friendships, your family than it is about some paycheck or some painful circumstance, embarrassment, whatever it may be. There's just so much more important things. Meet people. You got another episode. Thank you, Cody, Chrissy, for coming over and having this conversation with me. I really enjoyed it. I love y'all. And y'all come back for the next episode, because we'll be talking about something that has to do with the meat industry and the people in it.